Good morning, class. Standard 8th, Chapter 14, Chemical Effects of Electric Current. Your elders might have cautioned you against touching an electrical appliance with wet hands. But do you know why it is dangerous to touch an electrical appliance with wet hands? We have learned either that materials which allow electric current to pass through them are called good conductors of electricity. Please mark it. The materials which allow electric current to pass through them are called good conductors of electricity. On the other hand, materials which do not allow electric current to pass through them easily are called poor conductors. So we have got good conductors and poor conductors. Okay? Please underline the definition of good and poor. In class 6th, we made a tester, figure 14.1, please see to it, to test whether a particular material allows the electric current to pass through it or not. Do you recall how the tester helped us in deciding that? We found that materials, please underline, such as copper and aluminium conduct electricity, means they allow the electricity to pass through them. So they are good conductors. Whereas materials such as rubber, plastic and wood do not conduct electricity. So they are poor conductor of electricity or bad conductor. Do liquids also conduct electricity? Let us find out. 14.1. To test whether a liquid allows electric current to pass through it or not, we can use the same tester which we made in class 6th. However, replace the cell by a battery. Also, before using the tester, we should check whether it is working or not. Here, good conductor is shown to you as the bulb glows, and here poor conductor. Now that our tester is working, let us use to test the various liquids. So please read activity 14.1, 14.2. Come to the conclusion. When the liquid between two ends of the tester allows the electric current to pass, the circuit of the tester becomes complete. The current flows in the circuit and the bulb glows. When the liquid does not allow the electric current to pass, the circuit of the tester is not complete, so the bulb will not glow. Please underline all this. Now we come to the next page. As a result, the circuit of the tester may be complete and yet the current through it may be too weak to make the bulb glow. Can we make another tester which can detect a weak current? We can use another effect of an electric current to make another kind of tester. Do you recall that electric current produces a magnetic effect? What happens to a compass needle kept nearby when current flows in a wire? Even if the current is small, the deflection of the magnetic needle can be seen. Can we make a tester using magnetic effect of currents? Let us find out. So, just read activity 14.3. Take a tray from inside a discarded matchbox. Okay? Wrap an electric wire a few times around the tray. Place a small compass needle inside it. See the figure? Now connect one end free end of the wire to the terminal of a battery. Can you see the battery? Take another piece of wire and connect it to other terminal of the battery. Join the free ends of two wires. The compass needle should show deflection. Your tester with two free ends of the wire is ready. Now repeat activity 14.2 using this tester. Do you find deflection in the compass needle the moment you dip the free ends of the tester in lemon juice? So please write your, see the table 14.1. Material, compass needle shows deflection, yes or no, good conductor or bad conductor. From table 14.1 we find that some liquids are good conductors of electricity and some are poor. Actually, under certain conditions, Most materials can conduct, that is why it is preferable to classify materials as good conductors and poor conductors. We have tested the conduction of electricity through tap water. Let us now test the conduction of electricity through distilled water. Take about 2 teaspoonfuls of distilled water in a clean and dry plastic. Use a tester to test whether distilled water conducts electricity or not. What do you find? Does distilled water conduct electricity? Now dissolve a pinch of common salt in distilled water. When salt is dissolved in distilled water, we obtain salt solution. This is a conductor of electricity. Water that we get from sources such as taps, hand pumps, wells and ponds is not pure. Please underline it. It may contain several salts dissolved in it. Small amounts of mineral salts are naturally present in it. This water is thus a good conductor of electricity. Please underline why. Because small amount of mineral salts are naturally present in it. On the other hand, distilled water is free of salts and is a poor conductor. Small amounts of mineral salts present naturally in water are beneficial for human health. Please underline. However, these salts make water a good conductor. So, we should never handle electrical appliances with wet hands or while standing on a wet floor. Is it clear? Okay. We found that common salt, when dissolved in distilled water, makes it a good conductor. What are the other substances which, when dissolved in distilled water, make it conducting? Let us find out. So, just do activity 14.5. Most liquids that conduct electricity are solutions of, please underline, acids, base and salts. When an electric current flows through a conducting solution, does it produce an effect on the solution? Now we go to 14.2. Chemical effect of electric current. In class 7th, we have learned some effects of electric current. Can you list these effects? What effect does the current produce when it flows through a conducting solution? Take out carbon rods carefully from 2 discarded cells. Clean their metal caps with sandpaper. Wrap copper wires around the metal caps of carbon rods and join them to a battery. We call this 2 electrodes. Okay, see the figure. Metal cap is there. 2 carbon rods are taken, dipped in water. Now, instead of carbon rods, you may take 2 iron nails about 6 cm long. Pour a cupful of water in a glass or plastic bowl. Add a teaspoonful of salt or a few drops of lemon juice to water to make it more conducting. Now immerse the electrodes in this solution. Make sure that the metal caps of the carbon rods are outside the water. Wait for 3-4 minutes. Observe the electrodes carefully. Do you notice any gas bubbles near the electrodes? Can we call the change taking place in the solution a chemical change? Recall the definition of a chemical change that you have learned in standard 7th. Okay. Now, in 1800, a British chemist, William Nicholson, had shown that if electrodes were immersed in water and a current was passed, bubbles of oxygen and hydrogen were produced. Oxygen bubbles formed on the electrodes connected to the positive terminal of the battery, and the hydrogen bubbles formed on the other electrodes. Okay. Now, the passage of an electric current through a conducting solution causes chemical reactions. Please mark it. The passage of an electric current through a conducting solution causes chemical reactions. As a result, bubbles of gas may be formed on the electrodes. Deposits of metal may be seen on the electrodes. Change of color of solution may occur. Please underline. The reaction would depend on what solution and electrodes are used. These are some of the chemical effects of electric current. Okay, just read figure 14.6. Now we go to the next topic, that is electroplating. You know that a brand new bicycle has shiny handlebar and wheel rims. However, If they are accidentally scratched, the shiny coating comes off, revealing a not so shiny surface beneath. You might have seen women using ornaments which appear to be made of gold. However, with repeated use, the gold coating wears off, revealing silver or some other metal beneath. In both these cases, a metal has a coating of another metal. Do you wonder how a layer of one metal can be deposited on top of another? So let us see now activity 14.7. We will need copper sulfate CuSO4 and 2 copper plates of size around 10 cm and 4 cm. Please see the figure 14.7. Take 250 ml of distilled water in it in a clean and dry beaker. Now dissolve 2 teaspoonful of copper sulfate in it. Add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid H2SO4 to copper sulfate solution to make it more conducting. Clean copper plates with sandpaper. Now rinse them with water and dry them. Connect the copper plates to the terminals of the battery and immerse them in the copper sulfate solution. Allow the current to pass through for 15 minutes. Okay, 2 copper plates are taken, CuSO4 solution is taken and H2SO4 is added to it. Now remove the electrons from the solution and look them carefully. Do you find any difference? Do you find a coating over it? What color is the coating? So let us see now. Underline. When electric current is passed through copper sulfate solution, copper sulfate dissociates into copper and sulfate. Following? Copper and sulfate. The free copper gets drawn to the electrode connected to the negative terminal of the battery and gets deposited on it. But what about the loss of copper from the solution? From the other electrode, a copper plate, an equal amount of copper gets dissolved in the solution. Thus, the loss of copper from the solution is restored and the process continues. This means that copper gets transferred, underline, from one electrode to the other. Please underline the definition. The process of depositing a layer of any desired metal on another metal by means of electricity is called electroplating. It is one of the most common applications of chemical effects of electric current. Okay, underline. Electroplating is a very useful process. It is widely used in industry for coating metal objects with a thin layer of different metal. Figure 14.8. The layer of metal deposited has a small desired property which the metal of the object lacks. For example, chromium plating is done on many objects such as car parts, bathtubs, kitchen gas burner, bicycle, handlebars, wheel rims and many other. Chromium has a shiny appearance. It does not corrode. It does not rust. It resists scratches. However, chromium is expensive and it may not be economical to make the whole object out of chromium. So the object is made from a cheaper metal and only a coating of chromium over it is deposited. Now jewelry makers electroplate silver and gold on less expensive metals. These ornaments have the appearance of silver or gold but are much expensive. Tin cans used for storing food are made by electroplating tin into iron. Tin is less reactive than iron. Thus, food does not come into contact with iron and is protected from getting spoiled. Iron is used in bridges and automobiles to provide strength. However, iron tends to corrode and rust. So, a coating of zinc is deposited on iron to protect it from corrosion and formation of iron. In the electroplating factories, the disposal of the used conducting solution is a major concern. It is a polluting waste and there are specific disposal guidelines to protect the environment. Okay. Now we come to the last part, that is the summary. Some liquids are good conductors of electricity and some are poor. Okay. Most liquids that conduct electricity are solutions of acids, base and salts. The passage of an electric current through a conducting liquid causes chemical reactions. The resulting effects are called chemical effects of currents. The process of depositing a layer of any desired metal on another material by means of electricity is called electroplating. Thank you.